Of people in search of the truth, a group of enthusiasts are setting off to measure one of the best known mountains in Wales. If Tryfan turns out to be less than 3,000 feet, it could be relegated from the elite list of the highest mountains in the country. We'll be following them across the day here on BBC Radio Wales. Our reporter Chris Dearden, though, is up bright and early. He's somewhere on the mountain with them now. But where are you, Chris?
Not too far away from the bottom, sadly. We've got several hours of climbing before we get to the top. I think they reckon about 2.5 hours to the top, so if we're pretty speedy, we should be there before the end of the programme.
Yeah, it's a fair old climb up, Tryfan. Now, how do we not know how high it is already?
Well, mainly because no one's measured it that accurately. I mean, the Ordnance Survey have got a spot height, if you like, which you can see on the map, of 3,002 foot. Those measurements, though, are only accurate to plus or minus 3 metres or 10 foot. So Tryfan could slip below this magical figure of 3,000 foot. Now, 3,000 foot is what puts it in the elite league. Since it's World Cup time at the moment, of course, then everyone's always very keen to be sort of in the top flight, if you like, and Tryfan's just on the borderline there. So the question today is it in danger of relegation? And basically what's happening today is these three gentlemen, these three enthusiasts, are going to the top, and they'll be taking up, I suppose, what you call a very posh GPS. Very posh because it's worth thousands of pounds, and basically they'll be measuring it, talking to a satellite from this GPS on the top, and getting an idea of just how high Tryfan really is, actually to an accuracy of just a few centimetres.
What does relegation mean in this instance? What happens if Tryfan is smaller than thought?
Well, it's still there and it's still a mountain, so I suppose on one level not an awful lot. I mean, I spoke to various mountain walking enthusiasts over the last few weeks when we've been in the run-up to today's survey. They have pointed out that one of the things that makes Tryfan very popular with mountain walkers and quite well known is that it's one of the few mountains on the British mainland where you actually have to scramble with your hands and your legs as well to get to the top. So somebody described it to me as a proper mountain. So that certainly will still be the case, and yes, it'll probably still be one of those that people will make a detour to do, even if it slips out the Elite League. Now, the Elite League's quite important because there are people who actually come and, would you believe it, try and do all 15 or so of the highest over 3,000 foot peaks of Wales in one day. It can just about be done, and that's a challenge which some people try to meet. So the 3,000 foot summits are a big deal, certainly for the tourist industry, for mountain walkers, but I think Tryfan will probably have a special place in people's hearts, even if it is relegated.
Just tell us a little bit more about those three enthusiasts with you who are going to be doing the measuring. Who do they represent, if you like? Will their recording of the mountainside be taken seriously?
Absolutely, yes. I mean, their names are Mervyn Phillips, John Barnard and Graham Jackson, and they've been measuring mountains for a while. You might remember one of their exploits, which was over towards Carnarvon Way, Penygroes and Nantley Valley, where they measured a mountain called Mynydd Graig Goch, and actually managed to promote it on that occasion from being a mere hill into the mountain zone. They do it basically in their spare time as an interesting sort of sideline on walking the hills, as well as walking them. They also like to measure them as well. But it's fair to say that they're not just a load of enthusiasts. They're actually accredited by the Ordnance Survey, and there is somewhere in the mist, because he's set off ahead of us, a representative of the Ordnance Survey who's coming along basically to verify their data. I think the idea being that whatever happens today, we'll certainly be richer in terms of knowledge, and the maps will be more accurate.
So it's the real deal then. Chris, do take care on your climb this morning. Hope you get some decent views from the top.
Yeah.